Okay, so I wanted to dedicate this video to talking about Jewish people and how Israel is the blessed country of God and how it is the apple of his eye. I was recently at a seminar where a Jewish man and an Arab man were preaching the gospel of Christ and how Christ had changed their lives. The Arab man was named Thomas and the Jewish man was named Seth. The Jewish guy talked about the Arab people, and the Arab guy talked about the Jewish people, how God has fulfilled his promises for each of these people groups. And they were accurately talking about each other's sides, and how Christ is the amazing factor that can actually bring peace and joy into your life, how they're totally changed. Seeing this Arab man and Jewish man, who were both saved and redeemed, talking about the love of Christ and his promise to everyone, that was like a dream come true for me. I'd always wanted to see something like that. You know, the origin of the Jewish people doesn't make sense unless you read the Bible. If one would actually search the Bible, read it for themselves, search archaeology digs, read some history books, then maybe you would have a change of heart. According to the question, if I could live in one country for one whole year, I would have a hard time choosing between Texas or Israel. But if someone had a gun to my head, I would probably choose Israel because, as if any Christian has to explain to you why. I mean, wow, that's where the Temple of Solomon was built. Wow, that's where the Ark of the Covenant is. Wow, that's where Jesus preached and he healed people. Wow, that's where Jesus was crucified. Wow, that's where Jesus rose from the dead. Wow, that's where he walked. Wow, that's where the Promised Land is. Wow, that's where the Israelites originally came from. I mean, just on and on and on of how Israel is an amazing country which actually confirms a lot of history from the Bible. I just wanted to say this, but did you know that there are amazing revivals going on in Jordan, the country right next to Israel, and many Arab countries? So many people have gone out of their lives and actually gone to give their life to Christ. Many people are getting saved by the thousands and the millions, but this never makes the news. For those of you who don't know, there's a great website to view news that hardly ever gets out to the public about Israel. Just go to israel.co.il. And I don't dislike Jews. I love them. I mean, here's a picture of me hanging out with my Jewish friend Eli. Get up and go out, me and all my friends. You know, if Hitler hadn't killed off those 6 million Jews during World War II, I believe we'd be far more ahead in the arts and technology right now and the academia, because throughout history, Jewish people have turned out to be incredibly smart and intelligent people. New York City actually has the largest American Jewish population. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why it's one of the best cities on earth. Jewish people have been way too persecuted throughout history. It's about time they had some friends. They had enemies way before Hitler. God's promise still remains to this day. He says, I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you, talking about the Jews. I mean, the whole world has been blessed through the Jews and the amazing intelligence and the arts and technology and academia they've given us. And the fact that the Christ line of the Jewish people, Jesus and many of his disciples were actually Jewish. And Jesus was the promised Messiah for the Jews for thousands of years. Jesus is not only the Messiah of the Jews, but of the whole world. Read Romans 11. God hasn't cast away his people. The Jews are still originally the chosen people of God. And Christians, true, redeemed, biblical, Bible-believing Christians who truly have Christ in their life, they are the new chosen people of God. And I just want to read a list of Jewish people that I've compiled together that I've noticed over the many years I've been alive. See, a Jewish person is a celebrity to me, whether they're famous or not. And if you really want to throw a lot of bad names out there, people who just happen to be Jewish, like Lenny Bruce, the foul-mouthed comedian, and Vladimir Lenin, Stanley Kubrick, and Karl Marx. I mean, you gotta understand, people are born into this world with a God-given intelligence, but they can use their intelligence the totally wrong way for the totally wrong things, not unless they've been brainwashed first. Anyways, here's my list of the Jewish people that I really heart admire and always keep an eye on. Benjamin Netanyahu. Yeah, of course, he's a prime minister of Israel, but he is worth bringing up. I've watched many of his United Nations speeches where he gives these amazing lectures to all these people who just unanimously buy into all this anti-Israel bias that really tries to put Israel down. I mean, that's how it's become most of these days. It's slanted liberal journalism. Albert Einstein, the brilliant scientist who developed the general theory of relativity, E=mc². Emma Lazarus, the poet who wrote the new Colossus for the Statue of Liberty. Ben Stein, the actor who's cameoed in many movies and TV shows and directed that pretty amazing documentary called Expelled. Idina Menzel, the amazing actress and singer who sung the widely popular Let It Go, and then Steven Spielberg, the legendary Hollywood director who's directed such movies as Indiana Jones, Hook, E.T., Charlie Chaplin, the hilarious black and white mime slapstick actor, Ray Comfort, the leading Christian apologist who's written a large number of books on evolution and theology, like God Doesn't Believe in Atheists, and You Can Lead an Atheist to Evidence but You Can't Make Him Think. Marcel Marceau, the well-known mimester who survived the Holocaust and who was influenced by Charlie Chaplin. Larry King, the American CNN talk show host and writer who has done over 30,000 interviews. Natalie Portman, the lovely Hollywood actress. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, one of my favorites from Angels in the Outfield. Venom Fang X, the real name who's Sean Caron, an apologist with the most popular Christian YouTube channel. Born in a Jewish family who was an atheist at first, but decided then to use his intelligence for the glory of Christ. Ben Stiller, the hilarious actor and director. Roseanne Barr, the star of the hit TV show Roseanne. Adrian Brody. Keith Green, the talented Christian gospel singer who tragically died in an airline crash at 28 years old. Jeff Goldblum. That's interesting. That's chaos right there. Robert Downey Jr., who's now the famous Iron Man. Jon Favreau, the director of Iron Man. Mark Zuckerberg, the guy who created Facebook. Adam Levine, the lead singer for Maroon 5. Randy Newman, creative and funny musician, composed music for Pixar, wrote the song Short People song, and is cousins with Thomas Newman. Mandy Patinkin, the actor mostly known for You Killed My Father, Prepare to Die, from The Princess Bride. He's a great singer too. Thomas Newman, the talented composer who did such works as For Finding Nemo. This guy knows how to give you goosebumps. Jack Black, the Hollywood actor and comedian. Adam Brody, who's another actor. Lily Sobieski, who's a Hollywood actress, lovely Hollywood actress. Both the Coen brothers, the talented Hollywood directors. Pleasant surprise was True Grit. Carl Sagan, this famous scientist, sadly agnostic, and he used intelligence for a lot of wrong things. He said that line, extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. Yes, Carl Sagan, and there is proof for God, if that's what you mean. Andrew Garfield, who's the new Spider-Man. Billy Crystal, the talented Hollywood actor and comedian. Harold Ramis, the recently deceased actor and director of Groundhog Day, one of my favorite movies that I was pleasantly surprised by. Bob Saget, the dad who played Danny Tanner from Full House. Irvin Kershner, the director of Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. Sam Raimi, the Hollywood director of Spider-Man trilogy. David Duchovny from The X-Files. Rob Reiner, the director of one of my favorite movies, The Princess Bride. Howard Stern, the radio call-in talk show host and writer. He has great hair. Danny Elfman, the film composer, mostly from the Spider-Man films. Mel Blanc, the actor who voiced a lot of the Looney Tunes, and on his gravestone says, "That's all, folks." Seth Rogen, the actor and comedian. Yes, he says and does a lot of inappropriate things. It's interesting how he knows what Jewish actors are out there that he tries to bring into his movies. Leonard Nimoy, the famous Spock from the Star Trek series. Maury Amsterdam, the comic relief genius on the Dick Van Dyke Show. Jonathan Sarfati, another Christian apologist, the writer of the books Refuting Evolution 1 and 2, and has a video called What is Called Science, which you can actually watch right here. Brad Garrett, the tall Hollywood actor who has an awesome voice. John Stossel, the television consumer reporter, investigative journalist, author, and libertarian columnist. He rocks a mustache. Jonah Hill, Hollywood actor, lost an amazing amount of weight, by the way. Woody Allen, a famous Hollywood actor and director. Jon Stewart, the comedian, TV host of The Daily Show. Ron Paul drew my attention to him. Jennifer Connelly, the lovely Hollywood actress. Simon and Garfunkel, the two very famous singers, both Jewish. Gal Gadot, a lovely Hollywood actress who served in the Israeli Defense Force for 2 years. Jerry Seinfeld, comedian and actor who starred in the show Seinfeld. Zac Efron and Ashley Tisdale, both talented singers from High School Musical. Michael Bay, the movie director for some reason many people dislike, but I like him. simply because even if he's Jewish, you know, if a person is Jewish, I feel like I really have to like them, even for non-Jewish people, you know. That's a spirit that is in the heart, that you love every person you come across since the love of God is in your life, and you just feel like giving everyone a hug. Paul Schaffer, actor, comedian, composer, often performed on the David Letterman Show. Liev Schreiber, not only an actor, director, and producer, but also a screenwriter. J.J. Abrams, the Hollywood director from the new Star Trek and the upcoming new Star Wars. Michael Rosenbaum, who was the Smallville Lex Luthor actor. Sarah Silverman, the actress and comedian who starred in Wreck-It Ralph. James Horner, the talented composer and musician who really knows how to give you goosebumps. Scott Weinger, who voiced Aladdin and also starred in Full House. Ron Perlman, Hollywood actor a lot of you may know. Carrie Fisher, I bet all you know who she is, Princess Leia. Louis Sicard, writer of the book and movie Holes, starring Shia LaBeouf. Another Jewish actor, also from the Transformer movies. Mel Brooks, the actor, director, and comedian. Yeah, he's made a lot of silly movies, but I still like him. Marilyn Monroe, the famous actress and model. Joaquin Phoenix, the famous Hollywood actor. Alan Menken, who composed for such films as Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. Kirk Douglas, who is also a movie director. And Kenny G, one of my favorite musicians ever. Songbird is just such a relaxing masterpiece. And other honorable mentions include Bob Dylan, Stephen Fry, who is an actor, Albert Brooks, David Krumholtz, director Darren Aronofsky, Milton Berle, actor Phil Silvers, actor Larry David, Eugene Levy, Bob Iger, Paul Rudd, actress Barbara Streisand, actor William Shatner, actress Hallie Eisenberg, actors Chris Pine, Peter Schiff, Spike Jonze, actor Sacha Baron Cohen, TV journalist Larry Kudlow, Eric Balfour, actor Don Rickles, Daniel Stern, actress Mara Wilson, actor and singer Cleo Thomas, Henry Kissinger, Ivan Reitman, Lloyd Kaufman, Larry Gilbert, and Jesse Eisenberg. Now this is just some of the many Jewish people out there, more Jews in America than Israel. My ultimate point of this video, and everything I do and everything I talk about, I just hope that they come to acknowledge and understand their identity and their heritage and the ultimate truth and the big picture, that they're the original chosen people and that Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, is their Messiah. Christ was not only the Savior of the Jews, but also of the whole world. To all the Jewish people who are watching this video and all the people who are not watching this video, I love you, and that's all I got to say for this video. Peace out, keep thinking, Jesus bless you, and TDFN, ta-da for now.